Hello, and welcome to Snack Food and Wholesale Bakeries. Look back at the most interesting new products of 2022. I'm Jenni Spinner, Chief Editor.
And I'm Liz Parker, Senior Editor.
And we are going to share our thoughts on the 2022 products that aren't necessarily our favorites from a consumer perspective, but rather the ones we as journalists found most innovative, unusual, or especially in line with current and emerging snack and bakery trends. Liz, why don't you start us off?
The first one on our list is Milk Bar. They're doing a partnership with Original Donut Shop Coffee. So Milk Bar, most people in the industry have probably heard of. It's been around for a bit. And they always have delicious snacks and interesting flavor combinations. But we found this one particularly interesting because it's actually a partnership with the Original Donut Shop Coffee. So basically, it's like you can have your snack and your coffee. It comes with a cup wrapped with a chocolate chip pretzel potato chip studded cake around an inner core of creamy vanilla custard, topped with compost cookie crunchies, which is one of their cookies, and served with a pourable sidekick of the coffee. So that's kind of interesting to me because, yeah, like a lot of people are probably wanting to have their snack and have a little bit of coffee or whatnot with it.
I'm going to start off with IHOP has come out with a line of cereals with General Mills. I'm always fascinated by brands and cross brands, but having a restaurant known for its breakfast products come out with a breakfast product, which seems like it's competing, but if you're not having breakfast at IHOP, you're eating their cereal, thinking about the restaurant and going there the next time you have breakfast when you're eating it at home.
Yep.
It's coming out in December, so.
It might get consumers craving the IHOP pancake taste. So then bam, the next day they're at IHOP having pancakes. Our next product is Popcornopolis. And again, Popcornopolis has been around for a while. They always have really interesting flavors, but this time they're partnering with Takis, which you've probably heard of because they're owned by Barcel USA and they make a lot of spicy snacks. So as you might guess from that, this is a spicy popcorn, which is not super unusual, but it's interesting because more and more consumers are liking spicy snacks these days. And they did send me a little bit to try of this, but I am not great with spice. So I tried about one and it was a bit too spicy for me, but I would say for most people, it's probably gonna be a mild spice.
Yeah, I am a spice girl myself, and I, as a consumer, I find spice appealing. However, there's a threshold there, and it's right there for me. So I'm thinking, of course, especially younger consumers seem to be more into the daredevil aspect. Yes. And things that are super spicy are not necessarily a no-go. So this is likely going to hit that spot for those adventurous consumers.
Yes, you see that a lot. I don't know if you've heard of that one chip challenge where they came out with literally one spicy chip. And I've known people who have done it in the past, and it requires a lot of milk or ice cream afterwards, something dairy to get the taste. The spicy taste out, essentially.
It is. It was all over TikTok, which is when you can get TikTokers to carry your brand promotion for you by doing this insane chip challenge. That's always interesting.
Yep.
My next product is Mama Lupe's line of flavored tortillas. Now, flavored tortillas aren't exactly earth-shattering. You might have seen them, especially at small Mexican bakeries. If you live in Latino areas, you might have seen flavored tortillas in their shops, but this is not something that is as common on retail shelves, Walmart and places like this, where you can buy Mama Lupe's flavored tortillas. What's interesting is the flavors are not what you'd consider Latino centered, like Chipotle or taco spices. These are flavors like buffalo and ranch and barbecue. And also this is what I found interesting, there are sweet tortillas like chocolate and pumpkin spice. Are consumers going to, because consumers associate tortillas with savory things typically. will they go for chocolate and pumpkin spice? They haven't been out on shelves that long, so time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, that's really interesting because something like buffalo, I would think maybe you could use, maybe make yourself like a spicy taco, something like that. But chocolate, I'm not entirely sure what you would put in that. Maybe like fruit or something, ice cream, something sweet.
Yeah,
Maybe
they
like
do. The makers were smart enough to know that, you know, as consumers were wondering what the heck do I do with these sweet tortillas, there's recipes on the back. The
good idea.
chocolate one is I think it was banana and Nutella.
Okay, yeah,
So
like
if
almost like a crepe kind of.
yeah, so if consumers are having trouble picturing the sweet tortillas in their faces, there's these recipes on the back that encourage them to try and let them imagine what they could do with them.
Okay, interesting. Speaking of sweet breakfasty things, our next product, Premier Protein, and I'm probably gonna say this wrong, but Day Waffle Bakers,
Works for me.
they have partnered together and they're launching frozen pancakes. So what I find interesting about this is that they are protein pancakes, obviously, and a lot of people are trying to eat more protein in their diets, but they might be like, oh, you know, I don't have time to whip up pancakes or waffles before work. This way you can just grab them from the freezer, probably either let them defrost or toss it in the microwave, something like that, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's interesting. I am not one of those people that eats a lot of breakfast, so I might be more inclined to have these as a snack, which
Yeah,
I
that would
believe
work.
Premier Protein is positioning them as snackies, an anytime snack.
Yep.
And protein is, I need to eat more protein and less garbage as a consumer. So yeah, the nutrition, the better for you profiling of this would likely to appeal over here.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're thinking microwave because in the quote from Tom Polk, he's the CEO, he said they have 15 grams of protein and per serving, which only takes 60 seconds to heat up and enjoy. So I'm thinking that's microwave.
And now this next product, Liz and I both agreed on that this one is worth noting. Liz, why don't you start off?
So this is the Chuza brand. It's a Mexican snack brand, but it's expanding to the United States. And it's interesting because it's the nopal, which I believe is like a cactus. So it's kind of like a sweet and spicy flavor, but at the same time, it's like a chew, like a fruit chew. So again, like I said with Popcornopolis, consumers are really interested in sweet and spicy flavors, especially millennials. I'm a millennial, I'm a little bit adventurous, but I'm sure there are more adventurous ones out there, like with the chip challenge. And they'll see something on the shelf and millennials often sometimes have, you know, extra spending money. So they might say, oh, you know, I haven't seen this before. It's sweet and spicy. That's kind of interesting. So right now it's at Whole Foods too. So that might help with people seeing it on the shelf, wanting to try it.
Yeah, I have not seen a lot of snack brands that are founded by Latinos. So not only are you seeing Latino flavors in the snack aisle now, but the owner of the company, Danny, is a Latino. So a little bit of diversity in the snack aisle. If you are a Latino consumer, you may be used to the combination of fruit and spice, real fruit and real spice, like fruit carts on the corner in Chicago. But this is something interesting and new to the snack aisle.
Yep. And I see on the release, it has all natural fruits, Mexican spices, zero artificial coloring and flavors, which also seems to be important to US consumers. And yep, the founder is named Daniel Schwartz, or Schwarz, actually.
Liz, you had an interesting product in bars made out of an unusual ingredient that I'd like to hear more about.
Yes. So the next product is the Balanced Tiger mushroom bars. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you a little story here. So I am a fan of mushrooms, but when I was in like the second grade, I got made fun of liking mushrooms because I think we had to say, what's your favorite food? And I said mushroom pizza. And literally the entire class was like, ew. So I still remember that to this day. And I still like mushroom pizza. However, mushrooms and snacks is like I feel like it's a relatively new thing. And I've had some that definitely taste like mushrooms, which was weird in like a bar. And then I've had some that don't taste like mushrooms at all. as a consumer. So it's kind of interesting. But this one is actually has like, I think 1,500 milligram of infused functional mushrooms. And that was interesting to me. And there's also like different flavors. So they actually just sent me a few to try. And I think I tried the chocolate peanut butter or the peanut butter one, and I tried the chai one. And I was really surprised at this because it did not taste like mushrooms at all. So it's kind of nice if you're trying to like, you're like, I want a bar or I want something quick on the go, but I also want it to have some healthful properties in it.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I'm with you on the mushroom thing, and a lot of consumers they like the taste of mushrooms. They put it on their pizza, they put it on everything. Will consumers see it in their snack bars? And especially with flavors like the sweet ones that you mentioned, will they need some convincing? It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I mean, the chai one actually had like an overwhelming chai taste. Like it kind of felt like I was eating tea, which was interesting. But the good news is for people wanting to try these, they're actually vegan, organic, and gluten-free. So if you're
Nice.
gluten-free and looking for a bar, that would be good to try.
Nice. The next one I would like to bring up is Maxine's Heavenly Cookies. Now, cookies that are holiday flavored, not a new thing. Cookies that are low carb, increasingly less novel to people, but consumers with low sugar diets are going to have more seasonal options, pumpkin, gingerbread, peppermint chocolate. So at, the holiday parties, they have something to snack on too.
Right. That's always nice because it's disappointing if as a consumer there's something you can't eat and you go to a holiday party and you're like, what am I going to eat? I have friends who are gluten-free who often experience that, but I could also see, someone who can't have a lot of sugar being like, what am I going to eat at a holiday party for desserts? So that would be nice. And did you say you tried those? I forget.
I did. Not all of the holiday flavors, but when they were nice enough to send me some samples, being diabetic myself, I was excited to see these. And they taste really good. And they also profile as homemade, which is kind of nice. So if you want to go to a party and put them on a plate and pass them off as your own, I guess you could. But you really should tell people that you got them from Maxine's Heavenly Cookies.
Right. So people know where to find them.
Oh, you had some crackers you wanted to talk about too.
I did. So why snacks? And that's why with a question mark. So like why snacks, I guess. Why? Well, Evan Weiss, the founder, will tell you why. We don't have this in our write-up, but I believe he said he was celiac or something where he couldn't have gluten and he couldn't have a lot of carbs. So why snacks? He was looking for a grain-free alternative to that other snack brand that is cheese crackers. So these are low carb, they are keto friendly, they're gluten-free and grain-free. And like I said, they have 2 grams of net carbs. So that would be, I have not tried these, but I'd be curious to try these out, see how they taste.
Yeah, same.
He also said that on average, even if they're marketed as better for you crackers, they have 15 to 20 carbs per serving. So the fact that these only have 2 grams of net carbs is really interesting to me.
That is. My last product is another entry from General Mills. Mini versions of their cereals, Reese's and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's not in small boxes. The cereal itself is little, which is miniaturization is hitting all over the place. Mini muffins, mini crullers, mini donuts, and things like that. I just thought that tiny bites of popular breakfast cereals was an interesting foray into that phenomenon. And it's pretty much, according to their marketing, just because it's adorable. The marketing rep in their announcement actually called them cute, which is not a word that you usually get in big corporation announcements. So that's interesting. I fall prey to the adorable phenomenon as a consumer. So will it resonate with other consumers? Because they're following this tiny trend? We'll see.
I would think that would be good for like on the go snacking as well. Like I'm thinking, I don't know if this is how it looks, but I'm thinking like, when you stay at hotels and they have those like little cereal boxes kind of like grab and go, I'm kind of thinking something like that. I believe in the picture it looked different.
Yeah.
I think it was like full size boxes, but little
Mhm.
versions of it. And that also might be good if consumers are trying to diet or cut back on sugar, things like that.
Mhm. Little tiny cereals.
And
Um,
speaking of sugar, we've saved our strangest
that was a
product for
good one.
last. So when I saw this, at first I thought maybe it was a joke product, but it is not. It's the American Pecan Promotion Board and Tony Baloney. They partnered to concoct their first ever pecan pizza pie. And you might think like, oh, it's just going to be like a sweet pecan pie, but it's definitely a mix of savory and sweet. And it's on Goldbelly, which I feel like a lot of people go there to
Yes.
find the unusual
Mhm.
things or things they can't get in their area. So it features a sweet meets savory buttermilk pizza crust, a thick bourbon infused tomato sauce, creamy mozzarella, and fennel dusted pepperoni flavored pecan halves. And then it's topped with a spicy balsamic pecan pie glaze. So I was like, this is interesting, an interesting product. So I would be curious to see how that sells on Goldbelly. But again, I'm a millennial. Millennials tend to like to try, interesting things. So we'll see how it goes.
I'm a little older than millennial and I'm interested in that. Little scared, but I think that is kind of what they're going for. They're looking for adventurers with that
Yep.
one.
Before we go, we'd love to hear about any new products that you've seen recently.
Yeah, if you've got a new snack or bakery product that your company is putting out, we'd like to hear about it. Please email me at spinnerj@bnpmedia.com.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.